On a school day, the Syracuse University football team decided to not learn a history lesson, and in doing so, pulled off one of the biggest wins in program history. Quarterback Eric Dungey threw for 278 yards and 3 touchdowns, and the Syracuse defense held its opponent to 154 yards below their season average. The Orange pull off the biggest upset of the 2017 college football season, a 27-24 victory over the number 2 team in the country, the Clemson Tigers, on a Friday night here at the Carrier Dome in Syracuse, New York. Now, coming into this game, Syracuse all-time was 0-12 against teams ranked number 2 in the Associated Press poll. Now, that run of futility is history, and they were led by their quarterback Dungey, who was very efficient in this ball game, 20 of 32 in this ball game. He also ran for 61 yards in this contest. Now, this game was a seesaw affair. Syracuse did not have a lead of more than 7 points, but surprisingly enough, Syracuse did not trail in this football game, and you can point to a couple of statistics as to why Syracuse did not trail in this football game. The Orange ran 26 more plays than the Clemson Tigers in this ball game, and on the money down, third down, Syracuse was 8 of 19 in the ball game. Their 8th and final third down conversion came on an 8-yard run on a quarterback draw by Dungey on 3rd down and 8 with under 2 minutes to go to seal the game for Syracuse. Now, the Orange were aided by the fact that the starting quarterback for the Clemson Tigers, Kelly Bryant, was knocked out of the game in the second quarter with a concussion. Now, Bryant, who had been playing so well under center for the Clemson Tigers, came into this game with a tender ankle and was a game-time decision. And then in the second quarter, he was ripped down to the ground hard, hit his head after a run, and he did not come back for the second half. Zaire Cooper came on in his stead for the Clemson Tigers at quarterback, but that should not take away from the fact that the Syracuse Orange played a very good football game. The Orange now 4-3 on the season, a couple of wins away from bowl eligibility. And after the game, we got to hear from the head coach of the Syracuse Orange, Dino Babers, in the post-game press conference, and he talked about everything under the sun, from the meaning of this victory to him and his program to the amazing weather in Syracuse, New York. Despite the unforgiving winners, you will love to hear from the affable head coach of the Syracuse Orange, Dino Babers, and you'll get to hear from him in just a few seconds. And we also hear from a couple of key players for the Syracuse Orange in this victory, the quarterback, Eric Dungey, and one of the captains for the Syracuse University football team, linebacker, Zaire Franklin.
That senior class, 3 head football coaches, all the things that they've been through, and to have an opportunity to have a win like that they'll never forget for the rest of their lives, something that they'll tell their sons and their daughters, and then they'll tell their grandsons and their granddaughters. And it will be one of those deals where, no, Grandpa, not the story again about how you beat Clemson at the Loud House. And they'll have to sit there and listen for it again. It's truly one of those moments that you coach for. I've had those moments, but to be able to share a moment like that with these young men is really special, and it really means a lot to me. So really proud of them. I'm excited for the university and the community. I mean, how about the fans tonight? Are you kidding me? We have a dome. No one else does. Neener. Okay, we're loud, we're crazy up here, and that's the atmosphere that it should be every single time you come to the Carrier Dome. It should be a very difficult place to play, and that was a good football team, and I thought the fans were great. They were fantastic. They were the 12th man on defense, and it made it very difficult for their offense to communicate, and that helped our defense, and it motivated our young men to put the effort that they needed to beat a fantastic Clemson team. But you put enough people in the Loud House and you fill it up, and it matches all those advantages. You know, I've got a great love for upper state New York. I've seen things here that I never would have seen, and I'm serious about this. You're talking about a guy that was born in Honolulu, Hawaii. Are you freaking kidding me? I'm in Syracuse, New York now, but it's beautiful up here. Now, snow's coming. We all know that, and we'll stay inside. But in the summer, in the spring, in the fall, it's unbelievable up here. And I wouldn't want to be anywhere else. I love having the ability to get from one part of town to the other part of town, and everybody's saying, "Oh, don't go this way, there's traffic." And I'm just laughing. I said, "This ain't traffic. Heck, are you kidding me? I've seen traffic." So I love this place. I think it's awesome. This is a fantastic home field advantage, and I just hope that every home game is like the one that we just played.
Let's get a quick show of hands. Who thought we were going to win today? Honestly, who thought we were going to win today? So that's exactly what it's just us. Like I was saying, nobody believes in us except for us. And that's fine because, at the end of the day, I put my pads on to play for these guys next to me, the seniors, Coach Babers, all these guys. So, everyone out there, it feels good. It feels good. No one believes in us except for us. So
it's crazy. Me and Paris was talking about it, just, everything that, we've been through in these last 4 years, the lowest of the lows, back when we lost 8 in a row, and everybody was leaving and coach fired and the future's uncertain, don't know whether I'm going to be here. I had doubts, everybody had doubts, and just as, the things that Coach Babers has done for our program and for our culture and, just instilling in us, not only what it means to be a family, but also what it really means to be a man sometimes. And I'm just happy that we could, me and Paris, Steve, the seniors could be able to enjoy the fruits of our labor while we're still here.
As for the defending national champions, the Clemson University Tigers, their first loss on the gridiron since their shocking loss last November at home to the Pitt Panthers, but they were able to bounce back from that loss to play themselves into the college football playoff, and of course they ended their season in Tampa with a national championship, defeating the Alabama Crimson Tide to win a national championship. In the 2017 season, they're going to have to bounce back from a loss again, and more than anything else, their ability to rebound will depend on the health of their quarterback, Kelly Bryant, who once again was removed from this game in the second quarter with a concussion. But the point of this ball game was and is the Clemson University Tigers were second best. Syracuse outplayed Clemson, and it showed in the stat sheet and in the scoreboard. Syracuse with the win, 27-24 over number 2 Clemson. So stay tuned to A Lot of Sports Talk and ALOTofSportsTalk.com. We're getting ready to begin our coverage of the 2017-2018 NBA season. We'll be in Washington, D.C. for the season opener between a couple of teams with a lot of expectations in the Eastern Conference. The Washington Wizards at home taking on the Philadelphia 76ers. And again, stay tuned to A Lot of Sports Talk and ALOTofSportsTalk.com for continuing coverage of the National Hockey League as well as Major League Soccer, the playoffs in Major League Soccer starting in just a couple of weeks. So once again, our final score, the Syracuse Orange football team evoking the memories of Jim Brown, Ernie Davis, Floyd Little, Larry Zonka, Donovan McNabb, and made Friday night a very special night here in a Friday night in October, Friday the 13th, and the Orange in the Loud House made a loud statement, a 27-24 victory over the number 2 team in America, the Clemson Tigers. From the Carrier Dome in Syracuse, New York, my name is Adesina Koiki for ALOTofSportsTalk.com.